Hi scrappy friends, it's Kim back from Making Creative Memories in Time, and today I am going to be doing something just a little different, a little outside the box. I am using this beautiful Vintage Chic designer paper pack, and some of the papers that I'll be working with is from the Vintage Chic Tone on Tone paper pack. All of the products will be linked below that are still available. So let's get into it. And while I am sharing all of the stuff that you see here, let me just say thank you so much for all the people who have recently subscribed to my channel, who are following me over on my Facebook group. It means the world to me. I appreciate the support as I grow my channel. And if you're not following and you've just found me, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're notified anytime I upload new content. So let's get to it. I am inspired today. This looks like a mess. I am inspired today to use this sketch from the last Creative Memories virtual crop to work with the photos I am using. I am planning on doing a Christmas page with Vintage Chic. I have these pictures of Ashley and her Uncle Bo from Christmas 2003. And Uncle Bo had bought her, she was really into tents that year, and Uncle Bo had bought her a Winnie the Pooh tent. So this is her Uncle Bo, and here is the tent frame. Uncle Bo's helping her on Christmas Day put this tent together, and she's helping. Uncle Bo is being the good uncle and letting her actually help assemble this tent. And then here's a picture of her inside the tent playing. So these colors are pinks and some blues. At that time, my grandma had a blue carpet. And so this is perfect. This paper is perfect. So let's dive right in. So some of the supplies I will be using are these scalloped circle journal cards. These will become ornaments. I have pulled this envelope from the embellishment that goes with this Vintage Chic, and I'll be tearing this envelope apart and be using this really fine striped orange pattern in there, as well as this blue envelope. I'll be tearing it apart and using this front section. This one I've pulled because I may or may not use. I don't know that this pattern, I think this pattern is going to be too busy. If I use anything, it will be this pattern in here. And then also I had already created another layout, and this was just scrap and I didn't throw it away. I think I'm going to fussy cut this piece and use this like as a place to write the date. So let's move this aside. I've also pulled my template because I wanted, if you guys have these circles have been in my arsenal since 99, 2000. And if you have the custom cutting system circles and you're not sure how to use them, I wanted to show you how you can use this guide so you know which blade you want to use and which size circle template to use. So in today's video, I will be using this let's see, where does it tell me the size on this one? This is the 5 by 2.5. That's what I'll be using today. I am going to be using a white base. Then the papers that I've pulled this beautiful like beige with that beautiful like damask in it. That's going to be my background. And then I've pulled this blue with the circles, and then this is going to, I'm going to fussy cut this. I had already fussy cut this on another page. I'm going to fussy cut this, and that's going to become ornaments as well. And then I pulled this thin cut from my stash. This is the fa la la. I'll get it out in a minute. And what I've done is I've already pre-cut this, and I've pre-cut it in that beautiful sort of eggplant color. But then I've also cut multiples in just white cardstock so that I can give it some lift. So it looks like it's up on foam tape, but you can't really cut foam tape that thin. I am going to move all of the paper off the page until I'm ready for it, or off the table. Let me pull this in. I even thought about doing this like brown color, but I'm not sure that's what I want to use. I want to keep this airy and bright. So my first square, which is 10 1/4 by 8 3/4, is going to be this beige. Now, if you're not familiar with the Creative Memories virtual crop, there's a virtual crop held every month. Fabulous prizes are given away. It's a Facebook group. I will link that down below as well. And when they provide sketches, they give you dimensions for every paper that you're going to cut. So this first piece is going to be 10 1/4 by 8 3/4. So let's pull in our paper trimmer and go ahead and do 10 1/4. And then this is just going to be extra. And then we are going to rotate clockwise. And we're going to do 8 3/4. Now, at this point, you can't, there's a couple things you can do here. You can ink up, and it's going to go like this. It's going to go 10 3/4 this way, 8 3/4 this way. You can ink up your edges if you want. You can distress your edges if you want. Something I am going to do is I am going to pull, I have these paint pens, these Spectrum Noir paint pens that I typically only use at Christmas time. And you can get these at Amazon. I'll leave them linked below if they're still available on Amazon. You can also get them like at Hobby Lobby, probably Michael's, anywhere that sells art and craft supplies. So I have this 0.7, the 3, and the 4 millimeter. Now, especially for Christmas time, I love using the 4 millimeter. And I'm just giving a shake. And what I like to do, and you can tell by looking at that nib, I've used this quite a bit in what I'm doing. I just like to give an edge. I don't know if you can see that. I like to give an edge to my paper. Now this sort of, for me, is taking the place of that inking. But because I'm going to use these circle elements as ornaments, I'm actually going to be using one of the markers as like the string that's holding. Now, you probably could do this with your ruler and any gold marker. I particularly like this wider 4 millimeter nib. And you just, and it doesn't matter if some spots get thicker and some spots get thinner. To me, that just adds to the organic feel. And let's put our lid back on. And then I am going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this. And get this adhered down. And I am using repositionable tape. And we are just going to eyeball this. You see, I'm not using my mat today. Looks pretty straight to me. So just look at how pretty that gold is on that paper. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Okay, and then our next piece is going to be this blue paper, because I want to pull out that sort of blue that's in my grand's carpet. Now, this is probably 2002. I have to go back and look. It's either 2002 is her third Christmas. So it's going to pull out that blue. It's also going to work with the blue that's in his hat. So this is going to be 4 by 12. So we're going to go over to 4. This is going to be 4 by 12. And then we are going to cut in a dovetail. And for the dovetail, I'm going to go up to about right there. And then we're just going to flip this over. This paper collection is absolutely gorgeous. It's perfect for wedding. It's perfect for vintage photos. And hopefully you're going to be inspired after seeing this video today to, if you have it in your stash, hopefully you are going to pull it out and use it. If not, you can purchase. Link below. If you don't have an advisor, I would love for you to purchase with me and use it for Christmas. It's a non-traditional Christmas. So I love doing traditional Christmas pages, but then I also love doing non-traditional Christmas pages. And if you see right there, I'm pulling the paper. I'm kind of holding the marker still and then just pulling the paper until I get down to that edge. Now this will get on your hands with this technique, but it washes right off. I'm not using a good example. I probably wouldn't do it right over my work surface because you don't want to have little happy accidents, but I'm creating right over my work surface nonetheless. And then you see how I'm just basically holding my marker still and pulling the paper through until I get to the end. And that just adds this super cute touch to this. Okay, let's put the lid back on because these do dry out sort of quickly. And then we are going to go ahead and adhere this. And it doesn't give me a dimension for that, like how far in I want that to come. So I'm just going to stick it about where I think I want it, where I think it'll look good. And you know what? Before I do that, I think I'm going to do the same gold edging around the white paper. And let's do that before I adhere this down. And I will say that I've used this pen so long doing what I'm doing that it's almost dry. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take just one of the parts of the photo that I cut off, and I'm just going to press down and make sure that I've got some paint flowing good in that nib, because up there I had some white streaks, and that let me know that the barrel or the nib does not have a lot of paint in it. So we're going to put some more paint right in that nib. This adds just such a lovely touch. I love doing this. And there again, I'm running out of ink, so we need to put some more ink back in the nib of our pen. And as much as I've used this, I literally could almost be empty. I think that would sort of work for the shabbiness of this paper. But I want a really nicely defined gold edge. And there we go. Now we are going to drop this guy over. Isn't that beautiful? I just love how that gold looks. I love it. Now we're going to do the same thing with our photos. I'm not going to let it be as heavy though, so instead of putting it right in the middle, all I'm going to do is just do a little edge, and if some of it, if it gets uneven, I'm okay with that. I just want this to stand up off the page, really. And this gold is going to keep the layout cohesive and help it to stand up off the page. Really separate it. And I chose this sort of eggplant color as my matte color because I knew that would help pop these photos off the page. And so this picture is going to sort of go there. I love doing this. And if you see, your hands do get messy, but remember, this does come off with soap and water. Now, I can't tell you on clothing because I've never gotten it on clothing. So just be careful if you do this. And you can 100% use any kind of gold pen or marker that you have to do this. Any type. And then let's pull this one in. And I forgot to tell you, while I'm inking this one, I forgot to tell you, the photo size is 3x5 and 5x3. And then I used Creative Memories matte cards that were 3.5 by 5.5. And I just cut a 1/4 inch off because you all know me. If you follow me, you know I love a good white matte behind my photo. And then these eggplant mats are 5.5 by 3.5. And so here's what we have. I love it. Do you not love it? Do you not love it? So what I'm going to do is these are going to line up. The top of those are going to line up. Let's go ahead and fussy cut this. Now what I'm going to do when I fussy cut this is going to, and I won't put any gold around this just because I think we're at a point where we can have too much gold, because there's still going to be some elements of gold that comes along. So we're not going to put gold around this, and then where I'm fussy cutting to add gold around it would draw attention to any flat spots that I have in the paper or any zigzagginess in the paper. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to fussy cut, but we are going to leave some of that sort of fuchsia eggplant color. And then I think what we're going to do is this is going to, oh, I thought it would work perfect there. Let's see. What we may need to do is just taper it on that end. I think we can get by with that, especially if we have a design element up here. We may have like a little design element right there, so I think we're going to be good. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's go ahead and adhere our photos down. We'll go ahead and get our title, and then we will do our embellishments, and we'll be finished. So the first thing I want to do, I had cut several of these, but I think I'm good with just 2. And these are already adhered together, so I'm going to pull in. I did that just so that it wouldn't be as long doing this. So I am going to pull in my tweezers and turn my falala over, and I'm just going to use, this is Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue. This comes from Amazon, and I will link this below. I am going to put some dots, and this dries clear, so it does not get on anything. Now, for those of you who worry about, is it photo safe? I do not know if it's photo safe, but here's how I get around that. I do not let the glue touch my pictures, because for me, Photo safe means if I'm not touching my pictures, I don't have to worry about it if it's not a photo safe product. So, and I've used this in my scrapbooking for a long time. So, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it down. And instead of just dropping the whole thing down, because it will dry really quickly, I'm going to hold it up and sort of place as I go, because this does dry quickly. And sorry for being quiet while I'm doing this. I'm one of those people that when I need to focus, I need to focus. And you're going to see a little bit of white shadowing behind it, but for me, I'm okay with that. Oh, I love it. I love that little title. How cute is that? And I just thought that would be perfect right there for the title. Just perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our photos adhered down. So now that you see the color palette, maybe you can understand why I did not want to go with any of the darker browns. I'm going to stand up, friends. Oh, and I'm sorry, I have a little shift in my camera. I'm going to stand up so that I can ensure these are straight. And then let's go ahead and put down this photo, because these are going to line up right here at the top. Isn't this such a fun page already? And I just want you to look at how pretty all of that shimmery gold is. Hopefully you guys like that. I just want to use this. I do not want that to not be used. I just think, well, maybe, I don't know. Let's take it off. I don't know. Let's see. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to have an ornament down here that's going to pop up. And then I think I'm going to do an ornament right there. Because I can have that gold string. And here, the gold is not going to interfere with my photo at all. Go in there. So what I want to do is, I want, and we'll decide about this. I may use it, I may not use it. So I definitely here, I want this blue, okay? So I'm going to take this envelope apart, and here's something I hope that you guys are going to enjoy about this video, is think outside the box. Think about different ways you can take embellishments that you have and turn them into something that you didn't have, right? So I'm going to pull in one of my mats, and then here's where you use your template. So I'm going back to the one that I had, the 5x2, and I'm going to be cutting on the inside, and it looks like using the inside of this circle and a blue blade is going to fill the inside of this perfectly so that you don't see that journal template, those lines. So I am going to just lay this down, pull out my blue blade, and I really want that postmark to be in there. I really want that postmark to be in there because, you know, postmark is sort of like a Christmas staple, right? Make sure that my prongs are in the tracks. Would you look at that? Perfect. Perfection. So hopefully this gives you a fun new way to use your templates and your old circles that have been in your stash for a really long time, right? And then I didn't bring any definition to that, but I am just going to outline this. This will help you see those little bouncy scallops. It'll really bring that to the viewer's eye. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now on this one up here, I want some orange because I want to tie in some orange. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tear this one apart. We're going to open it up. And on this one, it really doesn't matter because we're just going in the center. Doesn't matter where we go. We're just going to go in the center there. And then it doesn't matter if we're straight or not straight, because when we wiggle it around, we're going to be able to see where it goes so that it's straight. Now, here's the thing. I can glue this one back together and still use that as a pocket. This one, let's see. I don't think I can glue this one back together because, well, I probably could. It's just going to leave a hole there. So I'm probably going to ditch that one, cut that off, because that would be a cute little template to use. And then we're just going to adhere that down. Oops, I'm a little bit off. And then we're going to pull in our paint pen again. I would love to outline my fa la la, but that would be torture, trying to get down in all those little cracks around the fa la la. So there's those two. Now what I think I'm going to do is we are going to go ahead. Let's put my pen back in my glue. We don't want my glue to dry up. Just happened to see that pearl tip. That's the thing about this glue. You got to keep your pen in it, friends. And now we are going to fussy cut one of these. I love to fussy cut. If you know me, you know when you have a very nice, heavily patterned paper that you're just not sure how to use, you can always fussy cut on that paper. And let me pull my little trash can in. You can always fussy cut on that paper, and it will be just lovely embellishments to add around your page. That one has a little indentation, but I think where I'm going to put this ornament, I think I'm only going to be using half of it. So it's okay that that's like that. And we are, because I want to pull in this orange that's going to sort of go here. I want to pull that in. So down here, I think we're going to have an ornament. And then our fa la 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 is going to go over that. And then we're going to have an ornament here. And we do need just a little something something right up there. We do. Let me see. And I feel like it needs to stay circular. What about if we do this, friends? Just thinking here. Designing on the fly. This is a little darker than that paper, but that right there can be my final little, I like it. What do you guys think? I like it. So let's go ahead and outline this one. And then we can get everything adhered down. Then there's going to be some journaling that happens right here. Now, because this is going over that blue paper, I am putting a heavy outline of this gold on it because I really want it to separate itself from this blue paper. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. Let me wipe this. Well, it's okay. I can wipe that afterwards. Okay, so now on my fa la la la, we are going to use our Barely Arts Precision Glue. I love this glue. If you guys love this glue, I mean, if you have it, you know, right? I love this little tip, and if it, as long as you keep your pen in it, it doesn't clog. But if you leave it open for a while, it does clog. But the type of applicator that it has, you can take it right off, let it soak in some hot water, and it comes clean. Oh, I love it, friends. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these, you know me, I am going to, well, I've already put my pen back in. I'm going to pull in some thin foam tape. Make sure I've got the thin. And I am going to just put foam tape in 3 spots here. Top, middle, and bottom. But I'm only going to remove the backing from the top and the bottom. That will make it stick. And the one in the middle is just there to keep it from crushing in the weight of the album. And now we're going to do this one, top, middle, and bottom. Hopefully you are inspired now to, if you have Vintage Chic, to pull it out and use it. If you don't have it, hopefully you're inspired to purchase it from your advisor. Again, if you need an advisor, my link is down below. This one we're not going to do. We're just going to adhere that one straight down. Oh, how cute it would have been to even do it like that, but I like it this way. Okay, now for the final thing that we're doing, we're going to pull our ruler, and we're going to pull the 0.7. And we are going to, I probably need to pull my mat in for this just to ensure. Let's line it up so we know we're going to be on a line. And it's going to be straight and not crooked, okay? And there is my little gold line for that one. This one, we're going to do the same thing. Okay. And then down here, this one is going to be a little harder because we're going to draw over our pictures. And here's the thing. If you're worried about whether or not this marker is photo safe, you don't have to draw over your pictures. I love it. There is one final touch that I am going to make to this. One final touch. Instead of drawing a bow, I am going to pull from my stash some ribbon. And you can use anything you have in your stash. I have this white ribbon with this little gold and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just cutting a small little piece. This is really old, close to my heart. And when I say really old, I mean really old. So use what's in your stash, friends. And we are going to need a glue dot. And this one we're going to cut just a little bigger and trim off because I had a hard time getting my knot in that one. Just use what's in your stash. This is really old. This goes back to, I don't even know how far back this goes, but it's old. So this ribbon is going to give a visual triangle. The ribbon is giving a visual triangle. This is giving a visual triangle. Now here, my line, I didn't put a line on this one, and let me explain why. It's going to be competing with that, and that's just going to get confusing. And so I don't want a line on that. That's just to help guide your eye around the page. So what do you guys think? And then my journaling will happen right here. Yeah, I think I want my journaling to happen right there. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like the idea of using this outside the box in this vintage chic paper being used for Christmas? I love it. So that's it. That's all I have today. Make sure that you leave a comment if you've stuck around this long, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I love you guys, and thank you all so much for helping me grow my little channel. Happy scrapping!